Hi Nomads, so today I'm in Coyoacán, which is actually one of the main neighborhoods in Mexico City. It's one of the most historical um, neighborhoods. Also, it has been home to a lot of different prominent people in the history of Mexico, a lot of different artists, writers, politicians, and yeah, and all sorts of um, important people. So, for instance, this was the neighborhood where Frida Kahlo used to live. It was also the neighborhood where Frida's husband, Rivera, used to live. Also, Octavio Paz used to live here, and he actually won the Nobel Prize for Literature. And yeah, I just wanted to show you around and basically show you the vibe. That one over there is the kind of like the central church of this neighborhood. This neighborhood is also famous because this is actually the place where the first government after the Spanish came was established. So this was the place where Hernán Cortés established the first government of Mexico as we know it now. So yeah, it's very popular, and there's a lot of museums, a lot of different things to do. The name Coyoacán means it's in Nahuatl. Nahuatl is the original language of the Aztecs. The Aztecs, you know, they were a warrior. They were warriors. So yeah, I mean, there were a lot of different civilizations in Mexico, and Aztecs were warriors, and that was just their tradition. They would go and conquer different civilizations or towns, and then that's why Nahuatl was kind of like the prominent language back then, because you know they could get to a place and then they could name it in their own language, of course. Actually, that was one of the reasons why so many native people turned their back against the Aztecs, because the Aztecs were not very nice. They could they could dominate all of the other towns, and they didn't really care much. They weren't very nice. That was just their tradition. They were warriors. So yeah, the name Coyoacán is in Nahuatl, and it means the place of the owners of the coyotes. I guess at some point there were a lot of coyotes here, and so the name, you know, just gained fame. And actually, I'm gonna turn around so that you can see what I'm talking about. So we're in the main square right now of this neighborhood, and over there's a kiosk, like a gazebo. There you can see that there's an eagle right on top, and yeah, of course that's the Mexican eagle. It's standing on a cactus eating a snake. And then that building over there, that red building, is the first kind of like Palacio de Gobierno, which is like a government, you know, the headquarters for the government. And it was the first place where the Spanish established the government right after I got here. So Coyoacán originally was much larger than when it currently is. It used to occupy, or like to compress, a lot of different zones, which are now very, very farther south in the city, and also even different states. Actually, Hernán Cortés got the title of Marquess of the Oaxaca Valley, And the Oaxaca Valley, well, Oaxaca is actually a different state, as you know. I already made a video about that. And yeah, it's a very, very big piece of land. So Hernan Cortés was proclaimed Marquess of the Oaxaca Valley by the Spanish king as a reward or as an award for for his duty during that period where the Spanish came and conquered Mexico. Then eventually, many years later, during the government of Porfirio Diaz, this became kind of like an upper middle class neighborhood. A lot of different houses with an Art Deco architecture started to emerge, and eventually it just became kind of like it has always been a magnet for foreigners, but especially as of late. And currently it's a Saturday, so there's a lot of people, and it's just very charming. It's a very charming, and it feels like you are in a town inside of Mexico City. The only thing though is that it's a little dirty, and it's also a little loud. So that's the only thing I don't like about this place. But other than that, I mean, there's lots of museums, and the nightlife is also very vibrant. There are a lot of cantinas, so like places where people go have drinks with their friends, and these are like traditional cantinas. So like I'm gonna walk by one right now so that you can know what I'm talking about. And this is actually new. This wasn't here. This sort of sculptures, these are new, and yeah, I mean, something very particular or very interesting about Mexico City is that we have kind of like bakeries and like places where people go buy bread, and these places have become like very central, or they have a very prominent place in the life of people who live here. So I'm gonna quickly switch my camera so that you can see what I'm talking about. And then people just come and get their bread here in places like this. And I just find that very, very interesting, because when I was living in Canada, I didn't see that. Also, Italians, even though they make, amazing bread, it's not like they don't have places like this. I've only seen this in Mexico, and also one or two in Canada, in Chinatown, but not as prominent as they are here. So there's also a tram there, and that's actually not used for public transit. That little thing right there is used for people to, so people just go there, and it's used by tourists mainly. So tourists will go there, and then they offer these tours, and you pay, and then they will tell you basically about the story of the neighborhood. So as you can see, it's mostly tourists, and I mean, I'm looking for the cantina that I told you I was going to show you. But yeah, so this is the main public square of Coyoacán. What I also really like about this place is the food. There's a lot of different options for food. So this one here is a taqueria, and it looks like the tacos are good. And there's a church. I will see in a minute if I can get inside the church. But look at, here's the Cantina La Guadalupana, and then like So people just coming here and then like have drinks. This is a very old building and a very old place. And yeah, I mean, they mainly sell beer and also different appetizers. Like these are like just like traditional pastries that are called merengues. And I actually really like this market. This is a market that is exclusively for food. And in a second, I'm going to show you the kind of food that they sell here. So as you can see, there are a lot of tourists. So it's a very safe place. I'm just gonna do a walk around of the place to show you what I'm talking about. So it's just different food stands. Then they sell juice there. And it's just here they sell tostadas. This is actually a very good place. I really like tostadas because they are not so heavy on your stomach. Like they are light. Even though, of course, we're eating like fried tortillas in the end of the day. Like they're not so bad as other things. But yeah, I mean it's a place. It's just dedicated to food, and then people come and have food here. There are tostadas, gorditas. You can look at the menu right there. Quesadillas, guaraches, gorditas, tacos, tlacoyos, sopes, chilaquiles, quesadillas, and yeah, I mean the prices are not displayed, but we can see the prices there. There they sell quesadillas as well, and they're 40 and 45 pesos. And gorditas 45 pesos, which is like $2. So it's not bad at all. And I mean, with one or two of those, you have more than enough food. So that's one of the places I wanted to show you. The other place I want to show you is a typical place where people here go have coffee. Look, this is the cantina. They look like this. And yeah, and this is just much more quiet here. I remember I told you I was going to show you the church on the inside. So I'm walking towards there right now. And I don't know if you can hear that music. Well, that's from an ice cream truck. And well, he was just offering me to go inside and have some food. A lot of places here, like, do you know, another good thing about this place is that there are like restaurants that are really like, they adjust to all different kinds of budget. So like you can find a very expensive restaurant, but you can also find very cheap ones, or you can eat for as little as $2, which is great. And yeah, I mean, I'm just walking outside the church right now. It's a very sunny day actually. It's very hot. It's funny because it kind of like feels like summer, but in the mornings it's really cold. So like that's the thing about fall and winter. As you can see, a lot of people are wearing already like jackets, well, or at least they're carrying them with them, because it gets cold. It is cold during the mornings, and then it gets really hot during the afternoons and evenings. Currently it's like 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and yeah, this is the church. We'll see if we can get in. Hopefully we can. But yeah, this is what the place looks like. So it's just lots of families And at night it's completely different because you know, a lot of these cantinas start opening, and oh, there's actually a bazaar here, so like they're selling different kinds of stuff, and a lot of these have been popping up recently. So I'm just gonna walk quickly inside to show you what it's like. Yeah, so like it's like little bazaars, and then like people are selling all sorts of different things, like perfumes and coffee and crystals, and there they have nuts and snacks. And I mean, I don't really like these places because they're not very traditional. So like they're very whitewashed. So this is not real. This is not the real experience of Mexico. Like it's very whitewashed, and they don't sell a lot of traditional things. But I guess once in a while it's interesting to come and see what kind of stuff they're selling. So yeah, that's what those places look like. And as you can see or hear, there is this person playing instrument right there. This person. So they're called organilleros, and they're very traditional in Mexico. So like they play all sorts of different melodies, and then like that's their job. So you're supposed to, yeah, to give them a coin. Currently I don't have coins on me, but yeah. And this is what the church looks like from the outside. I don't think I'm gonna get in. But it's just a very traditional looking Mexican church. And yeah. So this was the first part of this video, and in a second I'm gonna walk towards a different part of this neighborhood to show you this traditional cafe, and also I want to show you it's called vivero, which the literal translation is greenhouse, but it's not actually a greenhouse. It's just a place where they sell different different plants, like all sorts of different plants, and it's just very cool. And yeah, and also I want to show you what the inside of a very famous restaurant looks like, which is Sanborns. There's a lot of people currently, so I didn't want to wait, but hopefully when I'm back in a couple minutes there will be less people. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you did. So click the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button, and yeah, and I will see you in the next part of this video. Bye.